Hello everyone and welcome to Moonride, where we're channeling the man in the moon. So today's question, I know, is a question for many, and that is what is going to happen with the impeachment. So let's take a look at number 2, round 2, for the Congress versus Donald Trump. So let's just see. First of all, I'm just going to ask how long the impeachment is going to be. Get 3.5 weeks. It's So Spirit, how long will it be? Yeah, it's interesting. I kind of get a 3/4 moon here. So I think that it's going to be just short of a month. Second question is really the big question. What are the Republicans going to do? You all realize that this is a disaster for the Republicans. Right? The longer Marjorie Greene is there, she's going to be dividing the party, making it crazier and crazier and less appealing to centrists. Marjorie Greene really is the best thing that could happen to the planet, really, because she's so terrible. She's just going to be divisive. So let's see. I really wonder what McConnell's going to do, because he doesn't really want Trump around, splitting the party. So what will he do? Difficult times for him. He's making his calculation. And it's funny because there's a circle, and it's like trying to make it all red again. It's like trying to bring his party back. It sort of starts like a clock and comes back, and by the time he gets to the top, it's blue again or divided. So he's like, keep going around. Ah, man, is he frustrated. So he's realizing that this is a monster he helped to create, and now he can't control it. So what are you guys going to do? So he puts his hand up, which means to me that he's still going to oppose the impeachment. He will not want to impeach Trump. He won't vote to convict. But it's not certain, because he kind of raises his hand up and then he's like, but what do I do? I'm not sure he's actually made up his mind. One plan is thinking of going to, a bunch of senators and agreeing en bloc to impeach. That's one possibility. One more time. What is McConnell going to do? I keep getting is sort of a splitting down the middle. So maybe he's going to give some concessions to the Democrats, but some, to Republicans. Spirit, can you tell me more? Well, he kind of puts his hand in his head, because what is going to come out in the trial is going to be even worse than we think. The more we look at this subject, the more we realize how absolutely obvious it is that Trump planned this. He was somewhat indirect in his planning, but there are people like Chad Wolf, for example, who downplayed the terrorist threat and upplayed the Black Lives Matter movement as if they were violent. He has... it's really bad. He goes like this, is like in the trial, like, oh my God, how am I going to get out of this one? So keep in mind that, regardless of whether he's convicted or not, one purpose of this is to humiliate the Republicans again. So Liz Cheney is angry, which makes me think that McConnell won't vote to convict. So Liz Cheney has a dartboard. She throws her dart trying to hit the center. It misses. And then she throws again. It gets further and further and further and further away from her mark. Yeah, it's a pretty impossible project that that they have. They can't reunify the party. So the question is what to do in the meantime. So can we see more of McConnell and what he's going to do? Interestingly enough, he's not going to do much, but this is actually rendering McConnell powerless. He cannot do anything with these people that have arisen. He keeps going like this. I'll keep it the same kind of. Nothing's going to really change for my direction. Is anybody else going to vote to impeach? So Liz Cheney will still vote to impeach. There seems to be a few senators behind her, but not many. I see like shadows of people behind her that are sort of lining up. There may be one more new entry that will vote to impeach. One of them lights up. Will there be enough? I'm getting a no. There will not be enough Republicans at this point to impeach him. Now, understand this will not be good for the Republican Party. They're going to have to continually live with Trump because they will not impeach him. Can we know more about this? So it seems like McConnell's really thinking we don't need to impeach him because we'll just let the state of New York go after him. The state of New York will bankrupt him. The IRS will bankrupt him. He won't be such a powerful figure anymore as he moves on. So all you need to do is sort of appease the voters, oppose the Trump's conviction, and work on it from other angles. But McConnell will be frustrated. There is no good answer for him right now. It is going to totally fracture the Republican Party. You're going to have these extremists, people who are in the middle, and then these people who support Trump no matter what. It's really going to get complicated. And it's almost like McConnell's done, like he's over. He doesn't have the political power he used to have. The people that have political powers are, fringe elements like Jim Jordan. He will actually be the most powerful person, and he represents, the crazy people. And Jordan also has a lot of baggage. What else could we know about this trial? Oh, it looks like Trump himself might be called as a witness. And that's what's going to make it look really bad and make it really hard for McConnell. Because he's just going to blab and blab and blab. He's going to say outrageous things. He's going to act like he's on Twitter, but he is at his own impeachment trial. Interestingly enough, this is the only way Trump can communicate because he doesn't have Twitter anymore. So he has to, if he wants to make any political points, he has to sit on the witness stand. I do see him in the witness stand. What else are they doing? So one thing that's interesting, again, is Trump is in the witness stand. Maybe this is figurative. Looks little to me. But here he is. And each time the Republicans interact with him, they have to take some kind of stand. So either they're going to start praising him and telling him he's the greatest and give their little soapbox speech, or they will ask some, fairly generic question and Trump will bite their head off. It's just going to be bad news for the Republicans. It's all going to be on camera. Yeah, here's a long table where lawyers sit, and Trump has somehow broken the table in half, so it collapses. And this just seems like, the whole party, everything collapsing. And those people who are of the political caste are quite outraged at how Trump is behaving. He's not making himself look innocent. He's putting them in this very difficult position where they have to accept everything that he does no matter what to support the base, but the things that he's doing are so obviously criminal and wrong that they have to acknowledge these things and, deny them and, continue moving on. It's just not a good situation for the Republican Party. The one thing that seems really important to tell you right now is this is it. This is where we do, regardless of the outcome against Donald Trump, this is where we lay out his crimes for history to see. And Republicans have to respond. And they can either double down on their denial or they can go against the frantic, crazy base. Right? So they're in a very bad position here. In some ways, this is the worst thing that could happen to them. So try not to, get too frustrated when you're watching that hearing. Just know that people are, they're exposing the truth for all of history. And there will be a time in the future when we look at this and we see it for what it is. That time's not really right now. It might take 10 years to get there, but this is going to force everybody to see the extremism of Donald Trump and the division of the Republican Party. They will have difficulty rising again because of this. They will lose in 2022 by a fairly significant margin. All right. Thanks so much for watching.